Hello, so this is my flail build, a bit updated compared to the last one. If you watched the last video, you know I was using grit ward instead of shuriken fortification. So I tested both of them, they are like both same value. The only time I found shuriken fort better was, for example, there is a clump and the enemy team is bombing and you have to get out of it. You can't stay there and tank it because you will die for sure because there is too many detonates going on. So you're just running out and trying to dodge out. So when you dodge out, you will get some value out of shuriken fortification rather than grit. If you have grit ward, you have to stay there, left click or use the ability to get grit to get that damage reduction to have value for the grit ward. So that's why I changed it to shuriken fortification. So the head is shuriken invigorated health. Chest I'm using the void dark plate. I put a mending vortex in it. Hands same, legs same. This one is a named, you can drop it, and then you can put the third perk invigorated, or if you're playing void gauntlet, you can put oblivion in it, and then play a void gauntlet with scream. Simple. And for the shield, I'm using kite shield because, as you know, kite shield with smite, this one staggers the enemies, which is really good. So this kite shield drops in the new dungeon. It drops with 45 shield rush, which is completely useless for us, but that's not what we care about. What I care about is the slash shield ward that I really want on my gear because it gives me more slash protection, especially if you're playing on point with so many great axe. And the third perk can, if you're lucky like me, you can get refreshing move. There is two dungeons that drops this, the new dungeon and the Savage Divine. Savage Divine instead of 45 shield rush is defend resolve, I think. So if you're lucky, you can roll the third perk, refreshing move, and then you can have the perfect kite shield you want. And for flail, the reason that I actually want refreshing move here is because I wanted to play flail, play pluck crit on my flail, because you can't have pluck crit and refreshing move at the same time in any weapon. So this is my flail. This is basically best you can get. And for the ice gauntlet, I'm using deep freeze. Just put a healing 2 minute and converted the damage to nature because we're playing everything with focus. And this one is basically better than a normal ice gauntlet because you just do more damage to frozen and chill people. Like for example, here, go to the second weapon. You do this, and then whatever you do in the ice storm, you do 15% more damage to people. And my rune glass, I think this is still bugged, and you don't actually get that much to get the empower or the damage stack based on what it says. So you can just play opal in it or whatever you like, whatever works best you think is better for you. Amulet, I'm using Ung. This ring, purifying heart, healing breeze, hearty. If they fix, I'm not sure if they have fixed the purifying perk or not, because it's the one that when you remove a debuff from ally, you heal 20% more. So because as you know, with the flail, the mending vortex, this one does cleansing. So if that perk is working, that would be better than healing breeze. So you would have purifying heart, purifying and hearty. An earring, using fortified toes, refreshing toes and regen. Fortified toes has been buffed really, like really good. It was used to be 3 seconds and cooldown was 5 seconds. Now it's 8 seconds the duration and cooldown is 10 seconds, so it's really valuable. And for the abilities, oh, actually the attribute first. If you want to be on the more tankier side, if you're playing point, but if you're playing quad, it's different. But if you're playing on point, even in quad, if you feel more pressure, you just go like this. It's 357 because I have 3 items with magnify, so I have to go 357 so it doesn't jump. It doesn't bounce to 305, 305. But if you don't feel that much pressure, you can just do like this. You can go like this. Right now, this is what I'm playing. And for the abilities, Ice Gauntlet, like this, nothing special. Sorry. And the flail. So I used to go with Trip. Occasionally I go with Barrage. It depends on what people you're gonna have war against them, and if they're really good at bombing or whatever, you decide which one you want, because out of 6 abilities in Flail, all of them are actually good except this one. Doesn't have that much value. So if you're gonna go play Tower Shield, which is okay, but then you lose a stagger on your smite, but you gain way more survivability, because if you go Tower Shield, then you go Barrage, and with Barrage you have grid, so when you start charge out of anything, for example, if people are attacking you or detonating or whatever, when you charge it, when you charge, when you press Barrage and you start charge to go out, it will block the damage, incoming damage, this one. If you get this perk as well, it will block all kind of damage that comes without consuming stamina. So Barrage would be really good if you're playing a Tower Shield. Then because it gives grit, and then on a smite you get, I think it's 30%, yes, 30% fortify with Tower Shield, but with Kite Shield you get stagger, which is really good. So what I'm playing right now, I'm playing with Plodge, because when you when you basically use the ability, you get 50% armor increased for 8 seconds or until 3 hits are taken. But this is like okay, it's not really OP or weak. The second one is not that much important. If you play Tower Shield, yeah, it is good. And that's the third perk is really good, which is Best Friends. So when you use Bludge, it will connect you automatically to one of the allies closest to you, and then both of you get 15% in power and 10% damage reduction for 8 seconds, which is really good. So this is like ability that makes you really tanky. And if you're playing Tower Shield and you still want to play with Blotch, you can drop this, the leader of the pack, and then you can grab this one, because when you block, basically after 3 times blocking, the duration of this ability is up to 9 seconds, so if you block 3 times, you get the max duration, and as your health goes lower, your damage observation increases. So the more low HP you get, the more tankier you get. That's how I understand it. So yeah, that's all. But if you decide to still play with Great Bar, there is nothing wrong with Great Bar, it's still good. But yeah, I changed it to Shuriken Fort, and it's kind of the same, but it's okay. And as I was saying, if you're gonna go with Void Gauntlet as your secondary, and you're still gonna play with Void Dark Plate, you can just drop Invigorated here and put Oblivion in it. But if you don't even put Oblivion in it, it's fine. There is way many people with Void Gauntlet in the war that are supposed to do that. So yeah, but if you don't have this Tower Shield, you can just simply do this. Put the Tower Shield with Refreshing Move and Mending Vortex, and then you can put Oblivion here. So you don't have to pay 3 seals to change this, you can just pay 1 seal and change this. But then you would lose the slash protection. It would look like this, which is still okay. But yeah, it depends what you prefer. That's what I prefer, and I would do it like this. And even if we go to the wars, I would still play with this Void Gauntlet. Still does the job. And if I decided to completely not play the Ice Gauntlet as my secondary main, I would just change this Invigorated to Oblivion. And yeah, that's all I think that I should have explained. If there is a question or something, you can just simply ask in the comments. Would be happy to answer you. And good luck, have fun.